ring, fighting tonight out of the blue corner, Paul Allison.
Big chance tonight for Paul Allison to make a name for himself, but he does face a pretty daunting task here in Belfast. 5 wins and a draw on his record through his last fight, known as the Punisher, but it could be a punishing night tonight for Paul Allison.
Well, he'd like to duplicate an upset victory that he had a little while ago in beating Jack Sunderland. That was in his second fight. Jack was the favorite in his home area, and he won that. But bigger fish to fry here this evening in a fight in which he's facing Eubank, who he and his manager criticized a bit for his last effort.
Yeah, more of that to
come. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome to the ring, fighting tonight out of the red corner, the man with the famous name, Chris Eubank Jr.
Fascinating always to learn what reception Chris Eubank Jr. will get. I think it was okay until they saw who's walking behind it. The pantomime villain himself, his father, Chris Eubank, on the ring walk here. And he has a fair bit to prove tonight, even at this early stage in his career. There are some who are suggesting that he's flash, he's got quick hands, but maybe not the most percussive puncher. We'll find out plenty in Eubank Jr. Part 3 tonight here in Belfast.
Like his father, he is not an introvert.
And after that, now they're on his side.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is being brought to you by Hennessy Sports, along with their great sponsors, Lonsdale and Titanic Belfast. This bout coming your way is scheduled for 6 rounds of boxing in the middleweight division, and our referee in charge will be Terry O'Connor. Introducing to you first, the fighter to my left in the blue corner. He's wearing silver and black trunks and weighed in at 11 stone, 8 pounds. Coming to us from Stranraer, Scotland, he brings a professional record of 5 wins, no defeats, 1 draw, with 1 win coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Paul Allison.
There's been a lot of talk.
And his opponent across the ring, fighting tonight out of the red corner. He's wearing white and green trunks and weighed in at 11 stone, 9 pounds. Coming to us from Brighton, England, he is undefeated with 2 wins, and 1 of those 2 wins comes by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Chris Eubank Jr.
Just sense that he is in the mood tonight. No problems with his hands. Maybe he can turn it on.
At all times, most important when I say break on it straight away, okay? Shake hands, best luck to both.
The hand problem you alluded to in his last fight, the right hand was damaged. Couldn't use it at all, really, very much in the fight. But it engendered Paul Allison and his trainer, his manager, suggesting that he got away with murder by winning with 1 hand and with some other tactics.
Yeah, it was the way that he used his elbows that Paul Allison's manager, didn't like. Nice touch from Chris Eubank Jr. as well, with the green and white shorts with the shamrock. Very, very classy young man, and he started well here. Does have great hand speed.
Yeah, and Allison undefeated. This is a real fight, and you have to give Eubank credit for taking this fight right now. One that will advance him if he's to win, but gives him some difficulty, certainly, and danger in losing. Good hooks by Allison. You can tell he wants to land that punch. And there he does, but look at the hand speed of Eubank.
Oh, really good right hand there from opening round here. There's no problems with his right hand tonight.
No, he's landed several very good ones already, and if there is somebody out there who is very new to boxing, his dad, Chris Eubank, of course, the WBO middleweight champion who defended his title 14 times, a charismatic and sometimes polarizing figure in this part of the woods.
Well, he famously fought against Steve Collins and Ray Close in Belfast. He hoped that would lead to some support for his son.
This has been a very impressive first round for Eubank, but also a fun one to watch because Allison has been unrelenting in coming forward and throwing punches.
Yeah, Allison's pretty at home here as well. He's been to Belfast, sparred Andy Murray at John Breen's gym famously. But Eubank is in a mood to get on with it here. You can sense that already and see it.
This fight's going to boil down to whether Eubank hurts him. Allison is going to keep coming forward. His face is already red. He's been hit with a number of punches. But the pressure is going to keep coming.
Well, our friend and colleague Dave McCauley just suggested that was one of the things he worried about with Chris Eubank Jr., whether he really could hurt fighters. And you can be great without being able to do that, but it's much, much harder.
Yeah, being able to stun them or certainly keep them at bay with some power is important. You can tell the offensive arsenal for Eubank is complete. He's shown us every single punch already with seconds left in the first round.
20 to go in a really entertaining opening round here. As we see the gradual progress of Chris Eubank Jr. A journey, well, we don't know where it's going to take us. Competitive opening round then.
Right open to a right hand to the body, straight right hand.
Deserved applause there for Chris Eubank Jr., and this is why.
Yeah, Eubank counterpunching very well, but leaves himself open for that left hook by Allison, even though he's ripping these combinations and doing very well. The hand speed of Eubank is just, that's the key to this whole deal, and it'll be what makes him a special fighter as he goes forward.
Yeah, start to sit down lower. He's open there, right to the body. Crack that right hand straight to the middle. Come up the left hook, but go low. You're too high. Come down lower. All right? Get that jab working, because he's not on your leg.
Words of Ronnie Davis. He says that Junior could be better than Chris Eubank Senior.
Keep my hands up though, don't give him points, right?
When what I said, he's right hand down.
They don't want Allison to give it away.
Great shot there, the triangle. Davis, who trained Chris Eubank and trains his son, and all three men now living out this experience again.
Good body shot there from Eubank. Right hand again. Little counter though from Allison. Not having it all his own way here, Chris Eubank Jr.
Wow.
Great combination, hand speed, fantastic again.
He may be discouraging Paul Allison here in round two with some of those shots. Some of those right hands have a lot of power on them.
But even if they're not singly destructive shots, they're going to have a cumulative effect here. Rocked back the head there of Paul Allison on 2 or 3 occasions.
And Allison is a fighter known for keeping his hands up, and he tries to do that in this fight, but even with them up, when he throws punches, he's getting countered by Eubank.
Allison moving in, threw a couple of shots to the body and instantly took punishment himself. A couple of uppercuts there from Eubank, just mixing things up.
Here's the jab by Allison. When he jabs his way in, he can do a better job. He's landing a few shots on the inside there. He wants this fight at close range.
Nothing wrong with that Allison's commitment or his attitude here. He has come to fight. He's come to move forward and try and put pressure on Eubank, but he's finding it very hard.
He's making Chris Eubank be terrific tonight. He's forcing him to be. And those are strong body shots by Allison. So he's making a sincere effort in this fight.
Oh. Again, the power there of Eubank, but a good left hand from Allison and his corner to their feet applauding.
And that's because Chris Eubank just decided to throw a wild right hand, not with a jab. That's a mistake of youth.
Allison just encouraged by that.
Eubank has sparred with George Groves, of course, the super middleweight champion, a world-class fighter, and that helps you.
By all accounts, he was very, very good against George Groves as well, who is as honest as they come. Final 10 seconds here of the second round. This is a proper test for Chris Eubank Jr., and he's responding well at the moment. Great stuff again, real action. And we can get over now to our very own Joe Tidy, who is with Chris Eubank Sr.
Chris, please so far?
Yes. We've had to up his the standard of his opponent. So this fellow is 5 fights unbeaten. So he's coming to fight, and Christopher can do far more with better fighters.
Does seem like a different fighter tonight. Has he got something to prove, do you think, after last time?
No, I think he proved all he needed to in the last fight. Having one hand, only using one hand, is really twice the performance.
It's all going according to plan then?
Well, it never goes according to plan, but, if we are, a mile or two out, we'll still hit the target. I think he's special. He's special.
Thanks, Chris. Thank you.
He's special. Well, he's interesting, and he's very, very good. I guess time will tell if he's special. He's still getting instruction from his father as he goes into round 3. I do wish he'd let him make his own way, and I'm not sure it's a great help that Dad comes up and starts barking instructions. This kid's good enough to stand on his own 2 feet. With the great help, of course, of Ronnie Davis as well.
The combination punching is the difference in this fight, but it has not discouraged Paul Allison from coming forward. And I thought Chris Eubank's comments were very apt in that sense, because a better fighter at this level like Allison, and one that has courage and resilience, will make Eubank fight better.
Well, he'll get better against better class of opponents. How far will that go? He hasn't dealt with this guy yet.
Absolutely. And there was a good left hook by Allison. He's thrown some good ones. They haven't quite landed the way he wanted them to. That's probably going to be his money punch. And occasionally those thunderous jabs have gotten in for Allison.
Credit to Eubank's team for making this match.
Absolutely. And for Hennessy Sports to put their imprint on it. It's a good match.
It's fascinating to follow a career right from the start, as we have here on Channel 5 with Chris Eubank Jr. You see the flaws, and you see him getting better, and you still see him make the mistakes. Good punch there from Eubank Jr., but a good response from Allison.
He's fought adversities we've mentioned against Jason Ball, that damaged right hand. He had to dig deep to win a 58-56 decision, and here he is now in against a different kind of challenge. A fighter who is just resilient and coming forward and throwing good punches. Big
left hand there from Allison. Just wonder if it rocked Eubank Jr. for a moment there. This is a test for him.
We talked about the hook, and Allison was able to get it. He should be dipping to his left. I think Paul Allison is just cranking left hooks to the body and the head and throw them until you can't throw them anymore.
I wonder if his manager, Paul Graham, will just be starting to feel vindicated here. Final 30 seconds here of the third round of 6.
And certainly we've seen nothing from Chris Eubank that should raise the ire of Graham or anyone. There's been no strange tactics or anything of that nature. It's just been good fighting by both men.
Both taking risks.
Yes.
Eubank coming forward now. Risks always make for entertaining fights. Good right there from Eubank. Another really entertaining round here.
Well, Paul Allison has been looking for the left hook. And he's landed a few, but here he would find one. That one missed, but he would have another one that would get in. The Eubank with some good hand speed. And couldn't get that one in, but there was a point in that last round where Allison was able to get his big left hand in.
Looking good. You're fully worked in there, aren't you?
Certainly plenty to encourage Allison here. Long way to go. I wonder what you make at this point in the fight out of the point that Dave McCauley was making about Eubank's power, because he is catching Allison and he is loading up punches against him, but he doesn't seem to be hurting him that much.
Yeah, you know, I don't, at this juncture against these fighters, Eubank is not a big power puncher, but he punches, he's a sharp puncher. And so, I think it's early to make that kind of determination to say whether it's going to impair his career or not. And when you win and you put together all these punches together, you have to give credit for that. But
yeah, right there from Eubank.
But you're right, that's a right hand right down the pike that didn't seem to hurt Allison very badly.
Allison just stumbling there, and Eubank trying to take advantage as he stumbled towards the corner. Eubank's looking for the finish. Great right to the jaw. Referee's about to step in, keeps up the pressure, and he stops it. Stops it in round 4. A win for Chris Eubank Jr. It was a stumble, I think, from Allison, and then Eubank Jr. knew how to finish. He was right on top of him, and that's his most impressive performance so far, by a long way.
It is, and a proud father, and why not? It's impressive because Paul Allison came here to win this fight. He didn't come to try and look good, and no complaints from the Allison corner on the stoppage. He feels that, he had been hurt badly, and that gentleman there, Chris Eubank, has had his share of victories inside the ring, and now happy to see his son get a win inside the ring. And it was a very spectacular ending to this match. And again, hand speed made it all work. When you land a series of punches like this, it is devastating. And once the head went back like that, the referee felt he had seen enough. And I thought there might be a complaint from Allison in his corner, but there was not. So clearly the referee was right. Allison was hurt, and one of what he hopes to be many times in the future. Chris Eubank rises for his son.
What the great sportsmen do, they always say, is seize the moment when it's there, and that's what Chris Eubank Jr. did there. He saw the opportunity for the stoppage, and he got it.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is the official time. 43 seconds of round number 4. Our referee in charge, Terry O'Connor, steps in, stops the contest for the safety of the blue corner, as he was in no condition to continue. Therefore, your winner, and still undefeated, Chris Eubank Jr.
So a win for Chris Eubank Jr. and father and son afterwards in the dressing room caught up with Joe Tidy. So Chris, very convincing win there for you. Talk us through the fight from your perspective.
I went in there tonight with the intention of proving a point. A lot of people have been saying, how good is he? We haven't really seen, all of his abilities and what he's capable of. So tonight I went out there looking to produce an explosive performance, and that's exactly what I did.
You seem to be enjoying yourself as well. Is it nice to be able to use both hands this time?
Definitely. Last fight was only restricted to the left hand. This fight had both tools, and I used them, and I'm very happy.
And Chris, proud father?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, very, very effective. I haven't seen punching ability like that for in the last 20 years.
very exciting, and I think we have a live wire, and I think there's going to be a few more performances like that. We've upped the opponent's capabilities. This individual came in with 5 wins and no losses, and it seems, as I thought, the better they are, the more he can actually produce, and the more he can flourish, and the more he can actually show his true abilities. So, I'm very happy. I mean, I'm very, very happy.
And where do we go from here then? Is it a case of getting the next level of fighters?
The next level, yes. The next generation, which is what he is. The viewers, you should at some point, find him on Twitter, find him on Facebook. He's going to be the one to watch.
And is it about building that profile at the moment for you then?
Yeah, I want to get out there as much as possible. I'm fighting on terrestrial TV, Channel 5. It's a great opportunity for me. It's a great opportunity for the British public to watch a fighter grow. And as my father said, I'm on Twitter, Chris Eubank Jr. And Facebook, YouTube. I'm on all of them. So in between fights, you can keep in touch with me. And obviously, I'm looking to fight at least 2 or 3 more times this year. So you'll be seeing a lot more of this.